Well, good evening, my beloved Beyond the Call of Duty friends and family. Good evening to all our EOW family. It's Friday the 16th, and I cannot believe we are already halfway through the year. Typically, right now, we would be on the road, we would be visiting departments, we'd be 16 days into our journey. Uh, as much as as much as we are, meaning all of our EOW riders, we're not on the road and we're sad, but you know what? We're also a little happy. Not happy in the sense of happiness and all of that. Happy that we're able to keep on showing our beautiful memorial. Happy on talking to everyone that will listen about all these beautiful men and women, bringing all the stories back, talking about other past officers and their families and their lives, and at the same time reaching out to all these beautiful survivors and saying, hey, we're still around, and meeting them every now and then. So it's a little refreshing and humbling. We're also charging our batteries for next year. So come June 1 of 2024, we will be back on the road and we'll be fully charged. The mental stress and the mental health will be a little bit stronger and not as daunting on us the year after year. Not a long deal, not a long show today, but we have some exciting. We have an exciting ambassador with us. She's an amazing, amazing ambassador. So we're going to bring her on. She's an EOW ambassador from Colorado. So some of you have met her, some of you have held her, some of you have hugged her. Most of you have heard her. So we're going to bring her back. I want to shout out today and really, really let everyone know that our hearts and prayers are out. We lost Chief of Police Anthony Rickerson of Jasper Police Department, Florida. His end of watch was June 11th of this year, 2023. He was killed in a vehicle crash on CR 143 and Southwest 28th Lane in Jasper at 10:25 p.m. He was on his way to back up officers who were responding to an unauthorized block party. He hit a deer on the road. His vehicle careened off the road and struck a large tree. When emergency responders arrived, Chief Rickerson's patrol vehicle was engulfed in flames. He served with the Jasper Police Department for 13 years, was appointed as chief in September 2022. He previously served with the Jennings Police Department and the Florida Department of Corrections. He's survived by his beautiful wife and beautiful children. So our thoughts and prayers are out for him, and please, please, please put your thoughts and prayers out for his family. This weekend, maybe light a candle and let's remember and talk about him. Here's a gentleman, here's a person that served in the past and is a chief of police and has no reservations in responding with his team members and going out and taking calls and helping them. So put his family, his wife, and 3 kids in your thoughts and prayers. Tomorrow, Miss Allison, our one of our writers, everyone knows Miss Allison. She's going to be at the car show in Arlington, and she's going to have our beautiful 22 memorial with all of the 245 officers on there at the car show. So if you're in Arlington, Washington, get a chance, go out and see her. She will also have this beautiful Pan America with her, and there are some tickets still available. So reach out and grab her and get some tickets and support the cause. That's what keeps the memorial on the road. That's what keeps us going around the nation. All of the rest of the funds from the T-shirt sales and all the other stuff goes towards families first. We are still in PTS Awareness Month, so this is National PTS. So if you know anyone out there, reach out to them, hold their hands, give them a hug, and let's get them some help. Our second EOW writer, Damien, he's not with us tonight, but you all have seen him. He's ridden with us. So there's a Three Angels poker run starting, and it's going to be also July 15th in next month. This is in honor of Tom Ficken. It's also honor of one of our own EOW writers, Steve Core. That's him right there. And it's also in honor of Mel Irvin. And Mel Irvin is Damien's wife. She passed away as well. So the proceeds are going to benefit the Children's Hospital and Beyond the Call of Duty and Pause. So it's going to be split three ways. So if you're out and you want to do a poker run, get out there. Poker hands are $25, available 8 to 9 a.m. Ride pin is included as well. So you can reach out to them, reach out to us, and we'll get you hooked up to them. Next Friday, we'll be doing the bike show, bike night at the Lone Wolf Harley Davidson in Spokane, Washington. They are hosting us. All proceeds will be coming towards Beyond the Call of Duty. So if you get a chance, come out next Friday. Saturday, we are at Michael D's in Coeur d'Alene from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come see our memorial show. Michael D's has been a huge supporter of us for 4 years now, and he again wants us out there and spend time with him. So if you're in Coeur d'Alene next Saturday, come out to Michael D's, and the food is amazing, mind you. Want to thank Bud Clary of Yakima, Bud Clary Toyota of Yakima, for their 4th year in sponsorship. Yokes Fresh Fruit Markets, again 4 years. Phoenix Protective Corporation, our diamond sponsor. Don't forget, we have $2,500 family education scholarships for our survivors that are fallen children of the officers. Want to thank Advanced Digital for their continued support. 1350 out of Colorado Springs. Selkirk Construction, and of course, Miss Jen with Garden Street Yoga. So, well, before I bring on this next guest, it's amazing. So let's take a look. That, my friends and family, is William Modane, Master Trooper William Modane. In 2019, June 14th, he was struck and killed while assisting a scene in an earlier crash on I-70 in Colorado. We got to meet this beautiful young lady in 2020, so I'm going to bring her in and I'm just going to let her talk.
Hi, JC.
How are you?
I'm good.
We're getting, we just had William's anniversary.
Yeah, on Wednesday. 4 years.
Yep, 4 years. 4 years. Doesn't get any easier.
No, no. It just becomes more permanent. It just solidifies every year the reality that he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And every year I'm blessed and this organization is blessed because we find a new story that we hadn't heard about him. And we get to talk about a new story because even tonight, I didn't know he put beer goggles on a kid. And, you
Yeah.
know, and here we are putting beer goggles on our students and letting them know what it feels like to be drunk in that capacity and the
Yeah.
educational factor that he was so involved with. And so,
Yeah, he with the vehicular crimes unit, they did what was called the party program, and they went to high school, a lot of at-risk high schools with a lot of students who've already been in trouble with the law and stuff, and they would go and they would educate them on the importance of safe driving, not drinking while driving, not drinking before age, the move over law. And so that was something that he was very passionate about, that he did those 5 years while he was on that unit.
yeah, yeah. I took the move over law and kind of took that to heart after I'd met you and started putting that in my end of night spiel to everyone, just telling them and reminding them to please, please, please move over. So you've been working hard though. You've got some things that in over 2 years you created. Let's talk about what you've created. Let's talk about how you're getting that out, how you got it out to Colorado already, and then how all these other uh, departments are reaching out to you now.
So I am a board member for the Colorado State Patrol Family Foundation, and shortly after Will passed away, one of the president of the board had come to me and asked me, "Do you have some ideas of what we could have done better to take care of you? And what would that look like?" And one of the things that I said was there should be a resource out there for families, a tool for them to navigate this process when losing their loved one, and a tool that not only benefits the family, but also benefits a department. And so probably about, I would say about 9 months after Will passed, I had reached back out to her asking her if there were some volunteer opportunities for me to pursue and to help the State Patrol Family Foundation. And she was like, "I would love it if you would become a board member." And I said, "I would be honored to do that." And so I got on the board, and she was like, "That project that you wanted to work on, I want you to run with it." So he's now retired, but we had a sergeant with the Colorado State Patrol who had already started the process of putting something together. And the reason being is the Colorado State Patrol had lost 5 officers in 4 years.
Yeah.
There was 1 year of reprieve in between that time. And they were all struck by vehicles while working the roadway. And so they saw a need for this to be made. And so we took some of the work that he had started and we just built on that work, and we personalized it for not only a department but also for the family who lost their loved one in the line of duty. And so we completed that, and once we did that, we mailed it to every sheriff and every chief across the state of Colorado. And then when Eric Talley was killed in Boulder with that mass shooting at King Soopers, 9 News got word of the guide, because there's another foundation in Colorado that's very similar to Behind the Badge in Seattle, in Washington, that's called Colorado Fallen Heroes Foundation. And when we created the guide, they asked for a copy of that guide. So when they are dispatched, and they're made up of volunteers from all across the state of Colorado, of officers who come together to help assist an agency when they have a fallen, and to help assist with the family, because some agencies just don't have the funding to take care of the family and to give a proper burial. And so they also took a copy of this and they dispatch it on every scene that they go to. And they had spoke to 9 News about it, and then 9 News got word of it, and we did a story. And it got out on the news, which was amazing. And after that, Department of Fish and Wildlife picked it up. There are some other agencies that have also picked it up. And every time there is a state trooper across the country that is hit and killed or shot or just dies in the line of duty, the Colorado State Patrol Family Foundation sends a check to the family. And when they do that, they also send a copy of the guide to the agency.
What was interesting is when you were with us last year and even the year before, how many sheriffs, how many lieutenants, and just even the PIOs. Once I told them, or once I introduced you to them, and you asked and said, "Do you have this in place?" They're like, "No," and immediately you offered up and said, "Well, let me help you. I'll get it to you. We'll tailor it to your department." And that's just, I mean, that is just powerful of what you're doing and how you're keeping this going and how you're making sure all these survivors are helped and all these officers, because it doesn't just start at the end.
No.
It starts when
No,
they're yeah. It
it's a
starts
whole
in,
process, and
yeah.
it unfortunately is a year and over process
Yeah.
depending on the situation. And the amazing thing about the guide is it can be tailored to any state and any agency. And so they can take it as a backbone of something and they can build on it, and they can make it tailored to what their workman's compensation is for their state and what their policies and regulations are for their agency. And so that's the beautiful thing about it, is they can take it and they can tailor it and they can make it their own. And that was the whole mission behind creating it. Wasn't that it was just tailored towards Colorado and what our laws are here. And it's so that anybody can take it and they can create it on their own, and they can build something that can benefit their department.
Right. Well, that's amazing. How are you doing overall? Anything, any new things happening in your life?
Um, you know, it varies day to day, I feel like sometimes. Um, this past year has been a journey for me. I can tell you that the last 4 years have been a journey, and I know that that journey will continue every day, and it's going to bring something different, because that is what grief is. Grief is never ending, and it's always an up and down roller coaster. And this last year was the first year that I put myself out there and I started dating, and trying to just see, what the possibility could be. And I've been very blessed to have an amazing man come into my life with his children and his family. And so life has been busy this last year with lots of adventures and lots of news for me, new things. First, right? We always go through first when you're dealing with grief. And so there's been a lot of that this year and a lot of growing for me. Um, as an individual, which I have been working on for the last 4 years. I do therapy regularly. I've done trauma therapy with EMDR, and it's no different. This year has challenged me in new ways that I never knew would come up. And there's been some hard times, and there's been a lot of beautiful times too. And in the hard, there's always good as well. So there's been a lot of personal growth and trying to figure out who I am in a new relationship and on a new adventure, and what that looks like for me, and still honoring and carrying Will beside me as I continue to move forward, because moving on is not a thing.
Right.
That
Right.
doesn't exist. You move forward. And so, in trying to learn that and figure myself out as I'm doing that with someone in my life, but still being able to balance Will in the middle of all of that too, because that is a huge part of me that will never go away.
Absolutely. And, it's also understanding your new partner now,
Hmm.
understanding who Will is and accepting
Hmm.
that in the life. And that just is a immense part of the process in
Yeah.
itself, because it's not just you, it's also
Mm-mm.
Will
Hmm.
and all of that. So blessings to both of you. I know
Thank
he's
you.
very, very happy and a lucky person, and you're gonna probably take care of him more than he takes care of you. So
I mean, I'm very blessed. Wednesday was a really hard day for me. It takes me back 4 years ago, and I feel it all over again, and I'm shattered and I'm broken all over again. And Mike gives me room to grieve openly. I don't have to be afraid to do that. He allows me to have that space and that time to do what I need to do. Um, Wednesday during the day, I spent the day with my sister and my brother in law. My mom, unfortunately, is in Arizona, so she was with me from afar. And Will's best friend, who's a sergeant with the Colorado State Patrol. And I spent the earlier part of the day with them at the academy at the Colorado Memorial wall. And we laid flowers. And then later on in the day, Mike took me out to the roadway where Will was hit.
yeah,
And his first time being out there and seeing it for himself and experiencing that and honoring him beside me. And the entire time he held my hand, and again he gave me space to grieve and
absolutely.
openly and encouraged me. So
And that's the biggest part of it, is um, finding the one person that can help you and hold you at the same time,
yeah.
and walk those steps with you and understand. So
Yeah.
wow. Well, I think we're gonna get to see you soon, one of these days. Anyway, we've got a few things planned, but I think we'll see you soon.
You will.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is very weird, being the first time in 3 years that I haven't spent a summer with you or seen you in the summer.
right.
The first year was when you guys came through Colorado and Eddie and I got to
Well,
meet.
well, I think that was you. I think you should tell all the viewers the first time how you saw us, and how 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 silly we were, because we kept on.
So, the first year was during COVID, and so during that time, the world was in an uproar, right?
Yeah,
And our agency has always been amazing about communicating when things are happening to us. And unfortunately, due to COVID and all of the rioting that was going on because of George Floyd, the ball was dropped. And it was the day before you guys came in. Dan Groves' siblings told Eddie that you guys were coming and we had no idea. So Eddie contacted me and he's like, hey, this is happening. His victim advocate was able to come with us and meet us there, and my mom and my sister and my mom's boyfriend Larry and my brother-in-law came. And we were like, this bike tour is coming through, and we're thinking it's like the Unity tour, right? Like bicycles. So we don't really know what to expect, but we're like, okay, that's cool, like a different bike, group from Washington. Like that's amazing, right? They're going across the country. That's incredible. So we get there, and the main gate to the academy where the Colorado Memorial was closed.
yeah,
And we're waiting in the parking lot, and we're like, okay, where are they? And we're waiting, and then all of a sudden we hear the roar of thunder from all of the bikes that were coming in. And where the academy sits, you can see I-70 going
yeah.
westbound. And all of a sudden, like, we all look up and we see this trailer, and there's pictures on the trailer, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? What is this? And you guys come in and you can't get through the gate. So you have to go down the road and figure out a long way to go through to get
Yeah.
onto the property. And we're sitting there and we're like, okay, these are not bicycles. These are bikes. Like these people mean business. And here you guys all come in this big line. Steve was there.
Yeah.
And the trailer pulled in, and right on the front of the trailer was Will and Dan's face. And it was instantly moving and just sombering, right? And you guys parked, and all of you guys got off your bikes, and you came over to us, and you prayed over us. You talked with us to try to get to know us. You guys took
Yeah.
pictures with us.
Yeah.
You loved on us. And that was the moment that Eddie and I both were like, these people are very special. And then you said, let me get your information, like you do everybody on every stop. I'm going to stay in contact with you. And Eddie and I are like, we've heard this many, many times. And we're like, we're never going to hear from these people again. We're
Right.
never going
Right.
to see them again. We're never going to hear from them again. And here I am 3 years later. And not only do I call all of you friend, but you are my family. And I'm extremely close. And I've spent a month and a half on the road. Not last summer, but the summer before. And I spent 2 weeks on the road. I was supposed to spend 3, and then I ended up having to come home because of a dental emergency
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere. I've spent every waking minute, days at a time, hours at a time, mile for mile, through every type of weather, through a tropical storm that was supposed to be a hurricane. Lightning striking the ground literally, I don't know, less than 10 yards away from us as we're going down the highway on the bikes. I have so many stories,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how you came into my life. A roar of thunder.
A roar of thunder. Well, that was a very interesting day because we were on I-70, and all of a sudden a marked unit gets in front of or next to us. Then it gets in front of us, but it's not a Colorado State unit. And then next thing I know is the lights are on. Yeah, it was Lakewood, and he knew Will.
Yep.
What was funny is he had actually been following us on Facebook. And then he knew we were coming for Will, and he knew Will, so he wanted to pay his respect and take us to the academy. So it was special. So
it was very special.
Yeah, so it was very special. Well, when we do a shout out for 2 beautiful men, we'll do a shout out to our beautiful Chief of Police, Anthony Rickerson. And we'll do a shout out to our beautiful William Modane. May they watch over us. May we continue saying their names with strength, with wisdom. May we hold them close to our hearts and make sure that their loved ones are remembered and protected, and their names are always remembered. Salute. Well, Amy, love you.
I love you.
If you need anything from us, please don't hesitate. And we're not far, just a couple of states away. That's all.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Love you.
Love ya.
Bye.
Well, Amy Modane, William Modane's survivor. Amazing story. Amazing. She's full of strength as well. Like I've said, over last couple of years, she has continued on with resilience and heart. And if you don't know her, get to know her, because she is amazing. She will hold you in her arms. She will talk to you. If you're a survivor, oh my God, she's got a wealth of information, wealth of knowledge, and more importantly, she won't allow you to be forgotten. And she'll remind us to make sure that you're remembered. Taking up enough time for everybody. I'm going to hit the comments real quick. Heather, good evening, Heather. Love you. Thank you. Allison Sylvester, thank you so much. Joel Reed, love you, brother. Travis, thank you so much. And Billy, Amy says, hi, Amy. Awesome stories, prayers for you and family. Thanks, Billy. Prayers and thoughts and stories for you as well. So again, it's Friday night or Saturday night. No, Friday night, weekend. We're getting into the busy season. You're going to see a lot more motorcycles. So please pay attention. Tell everyone else, pay attention. But more importantly, let's stay hydrated. Let's stay awake. Let's stay vigilant. If you see a first responder, go up to them. Tell them you love them. It doesn't cost you anything. Really, it doesn't. It's free of charge. If they let you hug them, give them a hug. Don't run up to them and just jump on them, please. You'll get tased. If you see a emergency vehicle or a first responder vehicle, please, if it's on the side and the lights are activated, slow down, move over, or just stop. No drinking and driving, and no texting and driving. This we don't need any more issues going on. So God bless each and every one of you. Love you all, and see you next Friday. We'll probably be doing it live from Harley Davidson. So good night.